All right, guys, today we're going to shoot out the Splawn Nitro against the Victory Super Kraken. Let's get started. Well, I hope you guys are doing good today, and this episode is for Chris Sobek, a friend of mine and a friend of the channel. He asked me to do this quite a while back, and I finally got around to doing it. Now, these two amplifiers are in the darker territory. You know, they're not really bright amplifiers, but they both sound really freaking good. Lots of great features, lots of gain, lots of aggression between these two, but let's see which one sounds more brutal, and maybe which one suits your taste the most, and I'll see which one suits my taste the most as well. We're going to hear them in mixes, with and without the overdrive pedal, and we're going to hear all of the channels on the amplifiers. So like with the Splawn Nitro, this is a KT88 loaded amplifier, and this one here also has a clean and a high gain channel, and the gain channel has two modes, OD1 and OD2, and in the Kraken, you have a clean channel that's shared with a crunch rhythm channel, and then you also have a high gain channel for channel 2. And the features of the Victory Kraken are as follows. You have a built-in preamp focus, which is kind of like a boost built into the amplifier, and it also has MIDI. So all the features on the Kraken are switchable via MIDI, and the amplifier is fully programmable. And instead of a resonance knob, you get a resonance button. It just turns it on and off. And I have it on right now because I like a lot of great size of sound and a little more low end in my amplifiers. The overdrive pedal I'm going to be using today is the Mesa Grid Slammer, and the settings on the pedal are as follows: level all the way up, gain all the way down, tone knob all the way up. And right now, I'm going to turn it off, and let's see how channel 1 crunch mode on the Kraken compares to the high gain mode of the Splawn Nitro. And we'll start with OD1 right now on the Nitro, just to see how they compare with the overdrive pedal off. By the way, here are the settings on both amplifiers. Now I'm pretty much going to keep the same settings, especially on the Splawn Nitro, but if I do change the settings at all on the Kraken, I'll switch to the camera that's pointed at it so you can see what I'm doing. So anyways, as far as I'm concerned, the Splawn Nitro is definitely much tighter than the Kraken. The Kraken on channel 1 anyways is pretty loose, and you know, it still sounds great, but it's kind of loose like a typical amp would be, but the Nitro is just very obviously a lot tighter, and that's still in OD1 mode. So now let's compare them in OD2 mode, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn the preamp focus on for the Kraken and see what that's like. And I'm going to engage OD2 mode in the Splawn Nitro. Now let's see how they compare. Again, the overdrive pedal is still off. Okay, so the preamp focus definitely helped the Kraken out quite a bit, made it a lot tighter. I still think that the Splawn Nitro is just a hair tighter and a little more aggressive still, even with no overdrive engaged. So now, let's go ahead and engage the Grid Slammer, and I'm going to turn the preamp focus off on the Kraken because I'm boosting it with an overdrive. So what do I need the preamp focus on for? So now let's see how they compare. Okay, so with the overdrive engaged, I think the Splawn is definitely more aggressive. I mean, the pick attack on it is just sick. The chugs are nastier, and it's just more aggressive. You know, definitely different voicing between the two. So depending on your taste, you'll like one over the other regarding the voicing. But yeah, I think they both took the overdrive pedal very well. So now let's switch the Super Kraken into the higher gain channel, which is gain 2. And let's see how that compares with the Splawn Nitro. And I'll turn the overdrive pedal back off, and let's just see how they compare in these settings. All right, so here's where I have the gain set on gain 2. So it's pretty high. I'll adjust it accordingly if needed. So let's see how they compare now. All right, so channel 2 or gain 2 on the Kraken definitely has more gain, more saturation than the Splawn Nitro, but I think maybe the overdrive pedal might be, you know, a great equalizer between the two. So let's see what they both sound like with the overdrive pedal engaged. And I do have the gain up quite a bit on the Kraken right now, so let me adjust that back a hair. Let's just see. I don't know if I need that much gain, especially with the overdrive engaged and just for rhythm. So let's see what we have now. Well, with these settings, and again, with the gain knob where it's at on the Kraken definitely has more gain, you know, but I do have the gain set at like 1 o'clock on the Nitro. Let me turn that up a little bit and let's see how they compare now. Yeah, a lot closer. So if you want more gain on the Nitro, there's definitely some headroom there. I mean, I have it at 3 o'clock now. So, you know, so it's capable. It has plenty of gain in it. Now, I will say that even where I have the gain right now in the, let me turn this picture off here, where I have the gain at now in the Kraken, I mean, there's still a lot, you know, I think it could come down a hair because There's a lot of gain in this channel, and it's a little much for rhythms, but I think it's great for leads. So let me do a couple lead riffs on both amplifiers with these gain settings right now and with the overdrive pedal engaged. Yeah, I could easily play leads on both of these amplifiers. I mean, they both have the goods regarding that. Plenty of saturation for leads on both, but I will say that the Kraken on channel 2 is definitely more saturated. So I felt a little more comfortable with that amplifier regarding leads, but if I hadn't compared them side by side, I'd be fine either way. You know, that's the problem with comparing things. Sometimes you get a you learn some things and you're like, oh man, you know, I like this a little bit more. Now, I'm not saying I like one more than the other right now. I think that they're both sounding and feeling amazing to play through, but I'm definitely noticing more saturation on the Super Kraken. And it's more of a modern metal amp anyways. I mean, the Nitro is a little more in the classic, but still it's got one foot in each genre, I think, in my opinion. Like, it's got one foot in the modern genre if you dial it in right, and it's got one foot in a little bit of the classic genre. So it just depends. So I think it does both really well. And I will say that there's a little more attack on the top end still with the Nitro, so it just depends on what you're looking for. It's really thick and nasty, and there's a little more clarity with it because it's less gainy, but I think if I dialed the gain down on the Kraken, I could probably achieve that as well on channel 2. Now, channel 1 on the Kraken in crunch mode retains a lot of clarity. It's just channel 2 has a lot more gain, so obviously you're going to have to tame that if you're going to use it for a rhythm channel like I'm doing here. Now let's hear how they both compare in a full mix, and I'm going to be playing the Splawn Nitro in OD2 mode, and the Victory Kraken is going to be in the Gain 1 mode, which is a step down from Gain 2 channel, and I'm boosting them both with the Grid Slammer. I felt like both amplifiers perform very well in the full mix, so it'd pretty much be up to your taste to pick which one you like better. Well, we've heard the high gain channels on both amplifiers. Let's see what the clean channels sound like. Well, that Splawn definitely has a nice clean channel. I mean, both of them do, but when you compare them side by side, I think the Splawn is a little more musical, has a little more chime to it, a little warmer, where the Kraken is a little on the dark side with the clean channel. And this is how I have it set up. You know, I mean, that's pretty much it. The thing is with the Kraken is it doesn't have a presence knob, and as good as that amplifier sounds, if you really want to get the most out of that amp, what you really want to do is put a multi-band EQ in the effects loop and push the 6K just a hair, and it brightens it up perfectly. Well, now let's turn on the Julia chorus and the Flashback 2 delay and see how they compare with some effects. Yeah, I still have to give it to the Splawn Nitro. The clean channel's definitely better. More musical, chimier, warmer, brighter. You know, it's just all around better. I just think it has a more natural sound, where the Kraken was just a little on the muffled side. Not bad, still sounds really good, but when you put them side by side, you're just going to notice some stuff. I think either one of these amplifiers would be a great choice for you. I really do. They're both awesome. But if you're going to get the Kraken, I would highly recommend getting multi-band EQ and putting it in the loop and adjusting some of the higher frequencies just a little bit. You just need a little push on some of the higher end frequencies, and just treat that EQ in the loop like a presence knob, and just adjust a few things, and I really think you'll like the amplifier a lot better. I guess I'm lucky because I own both of these amplifiers, and every time I play through either one of them, I'm reminded of why I like them so much. So in my opinion, if you want something that's a little less gainy but still has plenty of gain for anything you'd want to do with it, rhythm, leads, metal, classic rock, whatever, the Splawn Nitro would be a great amplifier for you. I really think it would, and that clean channel is just freaking glorious. So I really like that a lot, and like I said earlier, I have the KT88 version, and it's just a huge sounding amplifier. I mean, this video's not doing it justice, trust me. But if you want a little more saturation, like what you have with the Victory Super Kraken, then maybe that would be more your speed. It's a bit darker, but just like I said earlier, with an EQ in the loop, you can fix that. It does have more features because you do get the MIDI switching and on it, and it turns on and off all the features via MIDI as well. So that is a nice thing to have. It really is. Pricing wise, they're pretty comparable, probably within a couple $100 of each other. So, you know, either way you go pricing wise, they're very comparable regarding that. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And to all my Patreon supporters and subscribers, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. And if you want to support the channel and get some awesome guitar tones for yourself, especially if you play quad CORTEX, KEMPER, or the new ToneX pedal, click the link in the description below and go to my website and get some awesome guitar tones for yourself. I'm sure you're going to like them. And if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and click the bell so that you can be notified every time I either go live or come out with a new episode. Well, I got a lot more stuff coming up for you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.